Welcome to Kanban Unleashed, where we explore how a simple board transforms into a strategic workflow tool. This opening slide shows the familiar to-do, in progress and done columns, and hints at how visualizing flow reveals bottlenecks, clarifies handoffs, and lets teams manage work rather than people, setting the stage for practical improvements across the organization. Here we walk through Kanban principles and their evolution, starting with visualizing the current state and making policies explicit, so everyone knows how work should flow. The slide emphasizes collaborating to limit WIP and manage capacity, then advancing experimentally through feedback loops, reminding us to prefer incremental, measured changes, rather than sweeping big bang replacements for more durable improvement. This slide contrasts a siloed, departmental handoff approach with a value-adding flow that mirrors customer experience. The visual shows how redesigning columns to reflect discovery, prototype, build, and deploy helps teams keep focus on value, while clear entry-exit criteria, consistent card sizes, and a single source of truth ensure predictable handoffs and smoother end-to-end throughput. Optimizing workflow is largely about setting sensible low UIP limits and interpreting breaches as signals, not failures. The slide explains practical ways to define limits by team size, historical throughput, or desired cycle time, and how breaches should trigger visible conversations, swarming, or reprioritization that lead to systemic fixes instead of unsustainable heroics from individuals. Data-driven forecasting and stakeholder management turn delivery uncertainty into credible conversations. Measure elapsed time from commitment to delivery. Plot cycle time distributions to show median and tail risks, and use percentiles to convert vague promises into probability-based dates. This approach builds trust, supports strategic trade-offs, and helps justify WIP adjustments or capacity investments with objective evidence. Applying Little's Law helps diagnose where work accumulates and why lead times creep up. The slide visualizes how rising WIP creates larger queues and longer wait times, and outlines escalation steps from temporary capacity shifts to policy tweaks and upstream grooming. The key is to track WIP trends so you can pinpoint bottlenecks and apply targeted, balanced resolutions rather than reactive fixes. Flow optimization and replenishment strategy focus on ensuring value, capacity, and a steady pull of work. The visual shows a sequenced backlog feeding the board and emphasizes pulling work only when capacity allows, deferring less urgent items, and using priority criteria like cost of delay to sequence work, so the board reflects true capacity and the most valuable options rise to the top. Defining service classes and explicit policies gives structure to mixed demand and variable priorities. This slide outlines standard, expedite, fixed date, and intangible lanes with tailored WIP allocation, and swim lanes so urgent work can flow fast without starving routine items. Shared language and clear policies balance responsiveness with throughput, producing more predictable delivery and less firefighting. A data-driven improvement cycle ties monitoring, detection, and decision-making together. The slide highlights key metrics: throughput, cycle time, WIP age, and flow efficiency. Then shows how trend analysis and experiment correlation reveal what changes drive outcomes, enabling teams to set measurable improvement targets and run objective, evidence-based retrospectives to refine their approach. Continuous improvement is framed as a safe-to-fail retrospective cycle, where weekly reviews identify bottlenecks, small experiments are chosen, results are evaluated against baselines, and successful changes are embedded into standard policies. This deliberate loop encourages learning, reduces risk from large experiments, and compounds gains over time by turning proven tweaks into repeatable operating practices. Upstream Kanban addresses the fuzzy front end by capturing ideas, vetting options, and validating concepts before work enters delivery. The diagram shows an idea pool feeding a limited discovery queue where options are analyzed and prioritized against vetting policies like tested assumptions and defined value, which helps reduce rework downstream and ensures teams pull only validated, ready-to-build work. Scaling agility with portfolio, Kanban, links team-level flow to strategic capacity and throughput decisions. The slide shows how multiple team boards feed portfolio-level investment themes and epics, enabling visualization of allocation and bottlenecks without imposing centralized sprint cycles. That visibility helps leaders throttle or accelerate initiatives based on real capacity, preserving local flow while aligning work to strategy.